But first, as controversy continues to plague the lead-up to Donald Trump's presidency, the US Senate is continuing its scrutiny of his cabinet picks. A short time ago, the Defence Secretary-designate, former Marine General James Mattis, faced his grilling before senators. Dubbed Mad Dog Mattis, the general served his nation in a 41-year military career, leading combat troops on missions into Iraq, Afghanistan and the Persian Gulf. The former high-ranking officer is also remembered for comments he made in 2005 when he famously said, "It's fun to shoot some people." Anne Barker reports.
US law bans former military personnel from holding the top defence job until they've been out of uniform at least 7 years. It's a rule designed to keep control of the military in civilian hands. It didn't stop Donald Trump announcing his pick for Defence Secretary was James Mattis, who only retired in 2013. And now members of a Senate confirmation committee, including Republican Chair John McCain, have voted to waive the rules.
All of us recognize the unique, indeed historic nature of this nomination. General Mattis enjoyed a long and distinguished career in uniform, but current law would bar him from serving as Secretary of Defense for 3 more years. While I strongly support retaining the law, I also believe that our nation needs General Mattis' service more than ever.
Mad Dog Mattis, as he's called, is known for his controversial comments. Most famously, in 2005, he said, quote, "You go into Afghanistan, you got guys who slap women around for 5 years because they didn't wear a veil. You know, guys like that ain't got no manhood left anyway, so it's a hell of a lot of fun to shoot them." James Mattis's testimony before a Senate confirmation hearing has been less contentious, but he still made headlines with his comments on Russia and China under questioning from John McCain.
As we are all aware, that following World War II, a world order was established, which has held for basically the last 70 years. Do you believe that that world order is now under more strain than it's ever been?
I think it's under the biggest attack since World War II, sir, and that's from Russia, from terrorist groups, and with what China is doing in the South China Sea.
The former Marine General identified Russia as America's #1 security threat and accused its leader, Vladimir Putin, of trying to break the NATO alliance.
And I think right now the most important thing is that we recognize the reality of what we deal with Mr. Putin. And we recognize that he is trying to break the North Atlantic Alliance, and that we take the steps, the integrated steps, diplomatic, economic, military, and the alliance steps, the working with our allies to defend ourselves where we must.
James Mattis warned of the dangers of a resurgent China, continued violence in the Middle East, and said Iran was a major destabilising force. He also argued for a bigger and more lethal US military.
I think deterrence is critical right now, sir. Absolutely, and that requires the strongest military.
Do you think we have a strong enough military today in order to achieve that goal?
No, sir.
James Mattis isn't the only Trump nominee who's at odds with the president-elect's push for closer ties with Russia. Mike Pompeo, another retired military officer, is Donald Trump's choice to head the CIA. At his own confirmation hearing, he too nominated Russia and China as major threats to world order.
Russia has reasserted itself aggressively, invading and occupying Ukraine, threatening Europe, and doing nothing to aid in the destruction and defeat of ISIS. As China flexes its muscles and expands its military and economic reach, its activities in the South and East China Seas and in cyberspace are now pushing new boundaries and creating real tension.
Both James Mattis and Mike Pompeo are yet to be confirmed in their nominated roles.
Anne Barker reporting.